Welcome back to the Crochet Creatus Host, my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. Today is the Chevron Breeze Crochet Afghan, another free pattern with our friends at Yarnspirations. Today it's a lazy wave that we're going to be completing today, and it's a really simple pattern of just repeating one row over and over. Let's flip it on over where you have a diagram here, and you can just see it's going to go in the up and down motion. Now they've told us in the pattern here that the pattern repeat is multiples of 22. So you go 22, 22, 22, and then add 3 chains at the end, and then you can change the size. So it's a nice generous size blanket. It is 52 inches wide by 60 inches long, and it's suggesting to use only 3 balls here of the Bernat Blanket Breezy yarn, which you can see is a striping yarn just like this. The nice thing about this particular wave Afghan is that there's no 2 together stitches, so you actually just have to skip over the middle 2 chains that you see here to get this section, and then when you come up the next one you just skip over the 2 middle that are right in the middle, and so on. And then when you're at the top here you just have to add in 1 double crochet one side, chain 2, 1 double crochet in the other, and then we're just going to continue on in that motion going up and down. So really quite a straightforward. Now if you don't want to use the back loop only to create the texture look, then you can just use a regular stitch too. Nobody's nobody's watching you that carefully that you can't just change it to make it suit your particular lifestyle. The purpose of the ends here is that we want to make sure that we're getting 2 stitches into the very end. So when we come out, so for example we're going to start up chain 3, you'll put 1 double crochet in the back loop only, and then you'll carry on, and then when you get to the other side there will be 2 into the end. So you can see that in the tops of the peaks you're gaining 1 stitch, and in the valleys here you're eliminating 1 stitch by jumping over. So you just got to keep an eye on that, and that's pretty much how it's gonna work out today. So I'm gonna do a small swatch. If you'd like to do a big one you can start now and chain 179, and if you want to do a smaller version just chain in sets of 22 plus 3. So let's begin. We're going to chain. You can do 179 if you would like to follow the pattern exactly, or chain in sets of multiples of 22 and then keep going in 22s and then add 3 at the end when you're satisfied. So just chaining as normal. So I'm gonna do the first set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So I bet you're thinking, wow, that's a long length, but because it's gonna be chevron, if you just go down like this you'll notice that the width sucks in as soon as you have a V formation. So I'm gonna do another set of 22 here in the camera. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So now I have 22 again. So I have 2 sets of the chevron. Now if you're chaining the 179 that's all you need to do, but if you're doing it like I am, add 3 more chains and therefore you'll stay in balance, and then we're gonna work our way across the chain right now. So let's begin working across the chain. So you're gonna go 4th chain from the hook, and I know it's kinda hard to see it on camera but you can feel it with your fingers if you're in front of this yarn. So you're gonna go 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4th, and I'm gonna turn it around and get the back hump of the chain only, and I'm gonna double crochet. This is one of those yarns where you can fake it or make it. Because it's fluffy you can hide any kind of mistakes really. So now the next 9 in a row will each be 1 double crochet. So we're not gonna worry about the back loops at all at this point. So just going, let's count those out. So 9. So this is 1 and 2, 3. Once you get your first 9 in, you're going to skip 2 chains. So 1 and 2 and go to the 3rd one and begin to go. So when you're in the middle sections here there's 10 stitches in a row. So 10 double crochets. So 1 and 2 and 10. So I got my 10 in there. So now what I want to do is chain 2, 1 and 2, and then start in immediately in the next chain and do 10 again in a row. So this is the top of the peak, so we're gonna just sink down to the bottom again. So if you can see it from this perspective, we've gone down now to the top again, and now we're gonna go down the other side. So that's 1 of 10, 9, and 10. So once you have your 10 going down, you're in the bottom of the valley now at this point. So if you look at it from this perspective, you're going up and down. So you're at the bottom, so you want to skip 2 chains and then go to the 3rd chain and do your 10. So you're gonna work in that fashion all the way up to the other side, and then eventually you're gonna come to the other side, which I'm about to. So you're gonna come and do your 10 all the way back up once you do the other side. So just go across and then meet me back here right now. So just put me on pause and we're gonna do 10 up the other side. If you have skipped anything, you'll know at this particular point, and what I would do if you're confident with your stitch work, just undo any of the extra chains that you have left over, and then if you didn't have enough, just kind of fake it and throw it in if you can. It is a fluffy yarn, so you can get away with a lot. So let's count. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is 9 and 10. So once I get my 10th in there, the last one, throw in another stitch. I got 1 stitch left over here, so I probably missed a stitch somewhere along the way, which I'm okay with. I could just tighten that up and just undo it. So you're gonna turn your work and then begin. So you can see it's going in the up and down motion. It's just a nice light up and down, and then we're gonna carry on then into row number 2, which will be the identical for everything. So row number 2 is the repeat for everything. So you're just gonna chain up 3, counts as your first double crochet. You have a choice. You can either go into the front or the back loop in order to keep the ridge formation of this particular blanket, or you can just go into the full stitch. You can make a decision on what's right for you. So once you chain your 3, I'm gonna go into the back loop only. It says to do that, but if you would like a regular stitch, just do that and put in another double crochet there so that you got 2 on the ends. So you're going to go and you're going to go down. So the next 9 in a row will each be 1 double crochet in the back loop only. Here's the thing. I don't really need to count. I might count the first time, let them out now, but what I would like to do is just look for the 2 middles and just automatically jump over them and skip. But I would count once in a while just to make sure that you're on track. But once you get used to this yarn and this pattern, you can pretty much sit back and relax and let the stitch work itself out. So I bet you're thinking you can't really see where the back loops are. That's okay. It comes with time, and it does a slight in this particular pattern, it does a slight ridging effect by doing so, but if you don't want to do that, then just ignore it and just go into a regular stitch. So I can see that the 2 here are at the middle. So what I want to do is that I got 1 more to do, and then I'm just gonna immediately just skip over those. Okay, so I'm skipping over these 2 and just go to the 3rd one, and then you just skipped again going across the middle, and that'll keep that going up in that formation. So continuing back loop only, going up. There's 10 stitches in a row if you'd like to keep count, but again I'm looking for where it makes sense. So what I want to do in the tops here is that I want to put 2 stitches into the very top chaining of 2 that we had. Okay, so here's the chain 2. So you're just gonna put in a double crochet just as is. Okay, it says to do back loop, but you really can't. And then, well, I wouldn't bother, but chain 2 and then double crochet back in the same one. Easy peasy, right? So then working your way down now the other side. And you're just gonna keep in that formation going all the way up and down. It is easy to count this yarn even though it looks like a big fluffer at this moment. If you just tug on it a little bit, you'll see the stitches. So if you just open it up, you can feel it. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and 10th is in the turning chain, and in the 10th one add another one because you're on the end. So you just simply turn your work and then you begin again. So you always stay within the back loop. So just chain 3 to begin. If you don't want to do the loops at all, just go into the regular stitch. I'm gonna go into regular just for the fun of it. So regular stitch, and then you just keep on going down. So you'll still jump over right where you need to jump at the base of skipping over the middle too. The difference is that if you go into a regular stitch right now, you're eliminating that ridge look that will appear if you go into the back loops only. You're the artist. You can decide what's right for you. So I'm coming all the way back down. There's the 2 middles, so I want to skip over those 2 and then just simply just skip to the 3rd one and then go back up. So once you get back to the top of a peak, same thing, you're gonna put in a double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, and then just come down the other side. So starting in the first one and etc. So this would be how you do this. There is no extra border, and you can see it can go in the up and down motion just like this, and it's really not a hard pattern to do at all. And just take your time, get yourself started, take your time getting started, and then everything should work out for you. Until next time, it's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. Bye bye.